Today, we are honored to be joined by His Excellency Ambassador Muhammad Aamer, Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan to the State of Qatar. Before entering diplomatic service, Ambassador Aamer held a number of senior leadership positions throughout a distinguished military career, providing him with deep insight into regional security, strategic affairs, and international cooperation. We are delighted to have him with us today to share his views on some of the most pressing challenges and opportunities facing our region. Your Excellency, thank you very much for joining us today. It is a true honor to have you with us for this discussion. So first, I'd like to begin with the subject of mediation and diplomacy. Pakistan has at various points played quiet but important mediation roles. In your view, what conditions are necessary for a state to be perceived as a credible and effective mediator today?
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to visit your very great organization and talk to you. Pakistan, as you know, that Pakistan is a country of great importance in our region. We are a country of 250 million people having nuclear power. And of course, proximity with the great powers of the world makes us a very unique player in the geopolitics. I think the question which you have posed is very deep. I think any country's relevance for mediation, it is embedded into its history. It is embedded into its geography, and it is embedded into its potential to remain neutral and at the same time help the cause of both the sides or the sides which the country is mediating. The relevance of the country matters a lot. Its relations with the power players in the world, that matters a lot. I would just quote an incident from the history that in 1970s, when the Cold War was at its peak, and the wars around the world in the Vietnam and other parts of the world, they were going on, and there was kind of hostility existing between China and USA, and Pakistan was the country which gave both the countries a chance to meet, greet, and of course move forward in their relations. And the thaw between China and US relations was created through the efforts of Pakistan. So our relevance, our friendship with the long-standing friendship with the countries like USA, although we had ups and downs in our relationships, but I think the engagements, they remained very deep. We were engaged in the security matters, we were engaged in the defense matters, we were engaged with the cultural and other matters right along. Similarly, we are neighbors to China, and we are the trade partners with China, economic partners with China. We have best of relations with China. We have best of relations with the GCC, and we have relations and of course a defense pact with Saudi Arabia. We have best of relations with Qatar, which is evident that our Prime Minister visited 5 times during this crisis. So our relevance was the main thing which brought this thing. And in any, I think, mediation process, relevance of the country, power potential, its sincerity, its history, its geography, that plays an important role. Thank you very much.
Building on that point, Pakistan has religious, cultural, and historical ties to many of the parties involved in regional disputes. Is that kind of civilizational proximity an asset in mediation, Or can it sometimes make it more difficult to be viewed as a genuinely neutral?
I think assets on the other side of the sheet, they are liabilities. So your question has answer in it. It is an asset, but then some people can portray it as a liability, as you are saying, that can it become a burden? Because people won't see you as a neutral player. But then through your action, through your mediation prowess, through your neutrality, visible neutrality also, and of course your sincerity in the approach also, you have to prove that although you are part of, as we are part of this region, the greater region, but then Pakistan was mediating between Iran and USA, and of course the Gulf countries were part of it. So one could say that Pakistan was taking the side, and there were many reports also that we were probably taking sides of this side or this side. No, we have proved, I think now it's, I think, a done deal, inshallah, and we have proved that we were neutral, and we kept this civilizational and cultural homogeneity as an asset, and we preserved this asset. We didn't let it make a liability for us, because had we failed, this would have been a liability. And alhamdulillah, we did not fail. With the help of our friends like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey, China, we did not fail. So I think it is an asset, but it is an asset when you deal it properly. When you don't deal it properly, it becomes a liability. Thank you.
Turning now to Pakistan's relationship across the Gulf. Pakistan's relationship with Qatar, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the wider Gulf goes far beyond diplomacy. It includes millions of people, billions in remittances, and deep cultural connections. How does this people-to-people element shape the strategic relationship in ways that formal diplomacy cannot?
I think this people-to-people relationship is part of the formal diplomacy. And we have built on this people-to-people relationship everywhere, in the Gulf, with China, with USA. And of course, this people-to-people relationship has helped us in keeping the channels open when people thought that it's very difficult to keep the diplomacy alive. So this is something which we are really proud of, and the Pakistani people have a stake in the progress and development of all the GCC countries. They have given their sweat and blood in the progress and development of all the GCC countries, and we are proud of it. And we think that we have a shared future, and we are looking at enhancing the diplomatic relations, and of course the economic cooperation. And this people-to-people contact is basically the key in all this equation. Thank you.
Your Excellency, let's speak specifically about Qatar. Qatar has positioned itself as a global hub for diplomacy, finance, education, and increasingly technology. From Pakistan's point of view, what is the most underutilized opportunity in the Pakistan-Qatar relationship?
I think Pakistan and Qatar have excellent political relationship, but we have not been able to transform that relationship into the economic cooperation so far. We are trying. The Qatar is helping us out in that. We are trying to help Qatar in diversifying their economy. For instance, the Qatar is focusing on the technology and AI, etc. Pakistan has a very credible and very solid base for this technological prowess, and we are looking at the ways and means to improve our relationship in that area. Pakistan is an agrarian economy, and we have huge potential to ensure the food security of countries like Qatar, and we are developing our cooperation in those fields as well. Pakistan, the diaspora over here is involved in the health sector, in the gas sector, everywhere. And I think there is a need to focus a little bit more on the economic cooperation and make it more robust and more beneficial for both the countries.
Looking more broadly at the region, Your Excellency, when you look at where the region is heading, which current trend concerns you the most? And not the ones dominating headlines, but the one you believe is being quietly underestimated.
I think there are quite a few. You see the climate change, it is impacting, I would give you the example of Pakistan. We had an estimate of around 80 of our glaciers melting in next 5 years. That means floods, that means catastrophe, that means death. We are not looking at that very seriously. Then, of course, the water crisis. In this war, I think we all could feel the potential danger of attack on any facility, desalination facility or anything. So water crisis is one thing. We are not very serious, I think. The people are not very serious about it. And of course, there are certain people who are trying to challenge the established norms and systems in that account. For instance, we had a very robust and very old Indus Water Treaty with one of our neighbors, but that was held in abeyance. So that would give an incentivization to the other countries to use water as a weapon against the low riparian states. So I think we need to focus on issues like climate change. We need to focus on issues like water crisis. We need to focus on the developmental issues of the equal development of the people. So that was the main thing in our minds when we stepped forward for the mediation and save the world from the bigger catastrophe.
In that context, regional states are increasingly being asked to make choices regarding infrastructure, technology, and security partnerships that carry long-term strategic implications. How can a country like Pakistan preserve meaningful strategic autonomy without becoming isolated?
I think strategic autonomy and strategic relevance takes you out of isolation. It doesn't threaten you with the isolation because when you go for the alliances, when you go for the cooperations, when you go for the deeper friendships, you are preserving your national interests, and you go into those alliances which ensure the preservation and security of your national interests. So I view it from that angle, that the strategic relevance or strategic preservation, it doesn't isolate you because the choice is yours. If I have a choice of one alliance and my strategic interests are being threatened, why should I go there? Yes, the danger is that you in the process you may have certain competitors, certain I would not say enemies because I don't believe in enemies. Somebody may threaten your interests, but then your diplomatic prowess is that you safeguard your diplomatic interests against the competitors, against the spoilers, against the detractors also. Thank you.
I'd like now to turn to some of the longer-term security challenges facing the region. And Your Excellency, you touched on it a little bit in a previous question. Water has often been described as the next major source of conflict in South Asia. And as we know, Pakistan is particularly exposed to both upstream pressures and climate variability. Your Excellency, how seriously is water security being treated as a national security issue rather than simply an environmental challenge?
For us, I think it is not only environmental challenge, it is a national security issue and it is a survival issue because we are a low riparian state. We have had three serious wars with rather 4 serious wars with one of our neighbors. We are dealing it very seriously, and we want that the international laws, international norms, international values should be followed in this aspect, and we are adhering to the international laws in this respect, and I think we are taking it very seriously, and we are in the process of building our capacity to store the water and ensure the survival of our people in any adverse condition.
We want to look more broadly at security. We have hybrid threats, disinformation, economic coercion, and proxy actors, and they have become central features of regional competition. How has Pakistan adapted its security thinking to address threats that do not always take conventional forms?
I think Pakistan is the worst hit country in the world by the hybrid threat, by the 5th generation warfare. We have been exposed to 5th generation warfare for the last about 20 years. And when I say the 5th generation warfare, that includes the kinetic actions also. There are very few countries who had the kinetic, who had faced the kinetic actions in the 5th generation warfare and also the other threats. But Pakistan faced both the threats. Our armed forces and law enforcement agencies, they have been fighting against the perpetrators of instability for the last about 24 years. And we have sacrificed more than 80,000 lives in that, and that includes the civilians. I've not included the number of military men. That is the death toll of the civilians, 80,000 lives. But the thing is, how we endured it, the whole of the nation approach. Our institutions, our law enforcement agencies, our people, they really held their hands against the threats, and they responded from time to time in a manner that our nation could come out of this hole. But you see, this threat is not receding at the moment. But I'm sure the approach which we have adopted, the way we are handling it, we are trying to deal it kinetically also, and we are also dealing it through other channels also. So I think the whole of nation approach is the only answer to the threat which all of us are facing in the form of hybrid threat.
And staying within the theme of security, one of the defining security questions of our time is how states maintain deterrence and strategic stability in an environment where the line between war and competition has become increasingly blurred. Your Excellency, how do you think about that challenge from Pakistan's perspective?
I think it's very difficult to maintain that balance. But as I said, that Pakistan has very successfully waded out of the difficult situations. Our stature as a responsible state has improved in the last few years, and we have not compromised on our national interests as well as on our just principles. I think the answer to this problem is that you have to be strong internally, externally, You have to have friends and partners in the world. You have to look at the world from the point of view of a real diplomat. You have to see that you have to find the solutions of the problems rather than initiating wars. You have to sit down. You have to give diplomacy a chance to resolve the issues, and this is how you can minimize the threats, because this line is now becoming more and more blurred, as you said. And the only way to deal with it is that you have to focus on your own potential, and you have to go for making alliances and friends.
Before we conclude, Your Excellency, you mentioned in a previous question, and you talked about the economic collaboration between Qatar and Pakistan. So I would like to touch on the economic aspect of regional cooperation. Gulf sovereign wealth funds are increasingly looking at Pakistan as an investment destination, from agriculture to technology and logistics. What will it take to translate that interest into durable, large-scale investment, and what has held it back so far?
I think there were no major impediments, but some regional issues and some reservations and some ill preparations on our part also, because Pakistan is a developing country, and we, as I said, that we have been facing the challenge of hybrid threat for the last about 25 years. So I think we were a little slow because we were dealing with many fronts. So we were a little slow in absorbing the economic potential of the region. But now, alhamdulillah, I think there are projects which are in the offing. We are in very serious discussions with Saudi Arabia, with Qatar on a number of projects. And we are very serious to translate this excellent political relationship into an enduring economic partnership which can help the peoples of both the countries. So hopefully soon you will have good news about the Pakistan and Qatar's. I would be focusing more on Qatar's cooperation in the food security, in the technical and technological development, and of course in other areas also.
Inshallah, very soon. Your Excellency, thank you once again for joining us today and for sharing your insights on a wide range of issues, from mediation, diplomacy, to regional security and economic cooperation, and the future of strategic partnerships. It has been a truly engaging and thought-provoking discussion, and we greatly appreciate your views on the challenges and opportunities shaping our region today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.